All right, guys, welcome back. This is the first episode of a brand new season, baby. This is the Coyote Stats Show brought to you by City Park Group. We are excited to have a new sponsor on board. I am Phil Morgan, and this guy next to me.
I'm Blake Rundy, and hey, we talked about City Park, and one of the things that City Park allowed us to do is bring on an editor and a producer in Josh Wright.
Josh Wright,
and so we got Josh behind the camera.
He's been busy already this morning.
He has been. He's been helping us get some levels and some things correctly. So
cheers to you, buddy.
Hats off to you, Josh. Listen, we're excited because that frees us up at the Coyote Football Network to kind of expand our reach and what we're doing and how much we're doing it. And so, but that's not what this is about.
No.
We're appreciative of Josh. We're appreciative of City Park Group.
And you need to be praying for your boy Josh because he's got to put up with us all season.
He does. He does. So listen, we're here to talk about all things Oakland.
All things Oakland.
It didn't end how we wanted it to. It was a tough loss, 48-52. But I think before we get into the game, there's a couple of things we got to shout out and tip our caps to.
Yeah.
One of them being our home crowd.
Home crowd was great. Everybody showed up. Like it was, the stands were full. The parking lots were full. Everything was like max capacity. The attendance was great. People, look, they've learned. Our fans, you guys are learning, and that is awesome. Like when you're making noise and when you're not, I still would love to see more noise while the opposing team is in their offensive huddle.
We got to ratchet it. It's got to sound like a plane is taking off on the runway when we're on defense, man. Make it loud, get proud. But listen, it was a great attended game.
Yep.
I saw comments from some of the people that came in from Tennessee on Twitter about how loud the stadium was. About how they felt the crowd presence. So that's always a good thing to hear.
Yeah.
Listen, the vuvuzelas make a difference.
They
the
do,
bells
man.
make
Blow
a
them
difference.
horns, baby.
I don't care if the person next to you finds it annoying.
Doesn't matter.
You're there to get loud and get proud.
Now, I will say, be careful of the spit because when you blow on those vuvuzelas, you have a tendency to the spit travels down the horn. So, be kind to your neighbor.
Point it up.
Just angle it straight up. That way, you handle that accordingly.
So listen, it was a fun atmosphere. The tailgating was awesome.
Yeah, tailgate was great. The quarterback club does such a great job of getting that organized, and so shout out to those guys for all that you do to create that pregame atmosphere. It really, in so many ways, feels kind of like a mini college town.
It does, man.
It's so fun.
It's been really cool to watch it grow every single year. The tailgating has increased as far as who is there, the number of people in attendance. So that's been really cool to see. And I'll take this time to plug that. If you haven't been to a tailgate before, come tailgate. Pin Oaks will have a booth. We'll set up a tailgate out there.
Yeah, there's many
people out. There's a ton of people out there. People cooking food, having fun. We've got a football inflatable.
And if you play your cards right before the game, you could just you can have all the food you need to eat, just going from tailgate to tailgate.
And then buy nachos at the game because that's what Coach Parr told us. Make sure we say buy some nachos.
Get some nachos.
But it's a great atmosphere.
Coyote nachos, I think, is what they call them. Yeah.
It's at 5:30 on Fridays before the game. It leads you into the Coyote Walk. Then you go into the stadium and you're ready to go. But hey, so before we get too far about this coming Friday, let's look a little bit backwards and let's talk about our offense.
Let's do it.
So I get to start off. Zai showed up in a big way. Number 8 showed up, made an announcement for his junior year and said, "I'm here. I'm here to ball. I'm here to show people who I am and make sure that everybody understands that my sophomore year wasn't just a 1-year wonder. That this is I'm a powerhouse. I'm a force to be reckoned with." And so he did that in a big way. Zai, you're gonna get 8 stickers. Listen, we don't have the helmet behind us this year. We've kind of upgraded to a little studio setting, but we're still tracking these stickers, brother. We still got them coming. Zai, you ended up with 8 stickers on the night. I think that may be an all-time high for offensive players since we've been doing this.
For offensive, for sure. Yeah.
For offensive, yes. For like an all-time. So Zai, you were 19 of 31 through the air, 318 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns, spreading it around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those 4 touchdowns were to 4 different receivers. We'll get into that in a minute, but just an incredible passing night. I think you had a 108 QB rating and a 61% completion percentage.
And yeah, I mean, it's just he had a pretty efficient game from at least in terms of passing.
Sure.
You know, for the most part, I know that there were some mistakes, right? Some miscommunications. There were some things that I think everybody saw, but and here's the thing, that kid knows it. Like, he wears it immediately. Like, on the sideline, he's just thinking, like, you know, you could see him like walking through things and, you know, trying to figure stuff out. And after the game, it's same thing. He, like, these guys know. In fact, when we asked Coach after the game, you know, did you give it to him? Like, how'd that go? And he's like, no, you know, these guys know what they did. You know, they know where they've gone wrong. We'll work that. Like, we'll get that right. You know, it's a first game, non-district game. If you're going to lose one, a non-district game is one to lose, right? Like, I mean, you don't want to lose any. Nobody plays to go out and lose. But yeah, Zai's the thing I love about him, I guess, is just the learning kind of approach he's taking. You know, for he's still young. Yeah, beginning of his junior year, you know, the loss he could wear in a bad way. And that would affect the whole team. But I feel like he wears it decently and works through it.
Yeah, and the ability to move on from those turnovers.
Yeah.
Right? No matter what they were, miscommunications, you know, mishandle, whatever it might be, right? Like, a lot of quarterbacks, it starts to sink them. And Zai, when he got to the sideline, was, hey, my bad, hand up, we're on to the next play. I'm going to get us. Like, we're going to be fine. We're going to keep moving. Yeah. And so he did it through the air, but he also did it on the ground.
Boy, did he ever.
Zai rushed 11 times for 113 yards and a touchdown, including that 69-yard where he just weaved in and out of that defense, and it was so funny. I'm sitting there behind the play with the camera catching that play, and I'll have to check and see if the clip is any good, but he's running and weaving, and it's just you're watching the Oakland defender, you're like, oh, he might get him. No, he's not going to get him. Oh, he might get him. No, he's not. Oh, and it was just all the way down to the end zone.
I felt that run was personal. Let's start talking about some of the behind the scenes stuff. I felt that run was personal. Like, that run was him saying to all those guys that were in his ear all week long, you know, you're never going to get out of the pocket against us. You're never going to get any yardage against us. I think it was personal. I think every bit of those yards, every single yard in that 69-yard run was insanely personal. And you could tell when he hit that end zone, he was happy.
He was very happy. He gave a little dance. He had a little bit of fun, deservedly so.
A little touchdown celebration.
You know, it was to the point that by the end of the game, the DNs, the D linemen were talking to Zai when he would escape yet another pressure. Yeah. He would step out of the pocket. He would go for a run, and they'd be like, "Oh, we're going to corral you onto the sideline," and he'd throw a pass back into the center of the field to Ace.
Yeah.
Like, it just they were looking at him and going, "You can't let us just get you one time." Like, those were literally words, like, out of their mouths. You can't just let us get you once.
Yep.
Not even one time. And he
wouldn't
actually. All night long. He was incredible. He's going to go for 8 stickers.
Yeah, and that, which is great, Zai. Congratulations, man. That's an incredible start. But I know it's tainted by the loss. But I will say, like, we clean up some of those things. Like, we talk about this, and we'll talk about it all year. Clean play.
Sure.
Play clean. You know, play clean. Fight. Don't fight yourself. Right, by creating, you know, mental errors and turnovers. And, you know, one of the stickers we like to give out every year is win the turnover battle. But we did not win that turnover battle this week.
Yeah. No, we didn't.
Lose 3 turnovers to, I think they're 1.
0.
No, they had none. That's right.
0
They had
turnovers.
no turnovers. So we cleaned that up, and this is a very different game.
Yeah.
You know, that there's no moral victory, but, man, if anything, you know, Coyote fans, this team, and I assure you, they'll be coached up on that.
they'll be coached up. And listen, this was a game that was like one play away. I really believe that we score coming out of the half after getting the onside kick. And
yeah,
I think we put a touchdown in, and I really believe that was
a dagger,
potential moment. But it didn't happen, and that's okay. Like you said, we're going to take some lessons from it. Who we got next?
All right, I got Edward Chumley.
Come on now.
Come on, Chumley. Yes, sir. Number 1 everywhere.
State MVP Edward Chumley.
State MVP Edward Chumley. That's right. We get a lot of last year's shout-outs, and you'll probably hear that all year. But Edward Chumley, number 1, 11 for 55 on the day, right?
Sure.
And he had to come out for a little bit. Like, these stats don't necessarily tell what could have been, but it is what it is. You know, the heat kind of caused some problems this week
for both teams. Lots of cramping going on for both teams.
Lots of injury timeouts while they were attending to players on the field, and it got Chumley for a little bit, but It didn't keep him down.
No.
He got stretched out, and he got back out when it really mattered,
Yeah.
and really came back to the team. But he was 11 for 55 with 2 touchdowns, so he's going to grab 2 stickers on the day for that effort.
Yeah.
That was
on the ground.
on the ground.
Yeah.
On the ground. Yeah, he looks like the Chumlee that we know and love. Like, he ran hard.
Yeah.
Right. He showed some elusiveness. You know, it's the Chumlee we love. He's not afraid of contact, and I love that about that kid. You know, because you look at him and you think, but man, if you get in front of him, you won't be anymore. You'll be like, oh, because he's coming straight for you, baby. He's gonna come right at you, and he did. He did so great on the ground, and then receiving, he was 3 for 75, which, by the way, that's an incredible stat line, and at 25 yards per, like that's sick, bro. Like, and he wasn't the only one that did that, but that was his stat line. He got a touchdown in the air as well, and just had an MVP type game. You know,
he did that touchdown in the air was a 40-yarder where he broke at least 4 tackles on that play. Yeah, it was a little crossing dump off route, like, and he kind of took it and said, I'm not going to go to the ground. And he didn't.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing: with everything that went on, you know, you have Chumlee who goes down. And when he goes down, you could feel the collective sigh in the stadium. Like, oh, no, that's our guy, right? But I'm going to give a shout-out to a dude. We can't give him a sticker, but we can give him a shout-out. Yeah. And I'm going to give a shout-out to Bo Brown. Like, Bo Brown showed up. Yeah, when we needed him, he showed up.
He ran that ball hard.
He ran hard. He ran just like Chumlee. He ran right into contact. He's not afraid to get hit. You know, I know him. I got to coach him in baseball with him and his dad. And look, the kid's he's been tough, and he's getting tougher. And sure. I love that. He came in, helped his team, did what he needed to do. And I got to believe that gives Chumlee, right, the opportunity to take a deep breath, get himself right, and then get back in the game. So, Bo, we give you a shout-out. Chumlee, 3 stickers, my man. Great job. Good game.
All right, listen, I'm moving on to the next guy. Ronald Bell Jr., we love him. RBJ is one of our dudes, man. He went 4 for 99 and a touchdown. By the way, his first touchdown since Maybank last year before he got hurt.
Yep.
So, big day for Mr. RBJ. It was so much fun watching you back out on the field. You had that big catch. It was the fourth quarter, I believe it was.
Well, he had two really big catches.
The touchdown.
But the touchdown, I think it was
in the fourth quarter to kind of keep us, that comeback going. And so RBJ, you showed up big all night long. One of the things I love about Ronald Bell is that he doesn't hang his head when he's not getting the ball. He keeps working. He's gonna block in the run game. He's going to compete. He's gonna give everything he has. And that young man showed up and he competed all night long. 4 for 99 and a touchdown is gonna get you that sticker on the board.
1 yard, RBJ. 1 yard, and you would have had 2 stickers. 1 yard. All right, let me move to Ashton Ansley, man. Ashton's new to our program, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, when he steps off the bus, you know what he's about. He fits the mold. Like, it's just clear this kid's going to be a pass-catching machine. Today, I think they probably keyed on him. I think they watched him. I think they spied on him. They held him to 3 receptions for 31 yards. But they couldn't keep our man out of the end zone.
No.
Ashton in the end zone, brings down that tutty, puts 6 on the board for us, and really, really helps contribute to keeping us in this game through the long haul.
For sure. I mean, that touchdown was really a nice, it was a beautiful little end zone fade route, kind of back to the sideline corner of the end zone. And he did a great job of not only hanging onto that ball as he turned to get to it and hold on to it as he went to the ground, but to get his feet in bounds and to have the balance and wherewithal of where he was exactly out on the field was really impressive. And so Ashton, this is the start of, I think, bigger things to come for him.
Yeah,
he and Zai will continue to build chemistry and rapport.
Yeah, they've not played that much together.
Yeah,
in the grand scheme of things, they haven't. And I think, like, for instance, there was a pass down into the end zone late in the game. It got deflected by one of the Oakland defenders. I think it was a linebacker that deflected it, right? And it was on the way to Ashton. And so, but in my mind in that moment, I'm watching that play take place, and I'm thinking, just trust him, throw it higher. Like, your boy is like
18 feet tall.
Yeah, like he's a giant. Like let's test those hops. Let's test that size and give him that opportunity to grab that jump ball. Because if he doesn't get it, it's probably out of the back of the end zone anyway.
Yeah.
And so I think there's just some chemistry stuff that's going to keep working itself out.
Yeah.
But Ashton had a great game. You get a sticker,
did.
my man.
He did. Ashton, we're super glad to watch you play all season long. Hey, the next guy on the receiving end that comes with the sticker is our man Zay Gentry.
Zay, back in Anna,
Zay,
baby.
We love you back in Anna, getting a sticker on the offensive side of the ball to start the day. Listen, you had one catch on the night, but it was the big one to get us to 48.
Yeah, made it count, baby. Made it count.
Big one to get to 48, and he kind of comes to the DB. They kind of get locked up for a second, and he gets off of that towards the sideline. As Zai throws a perfect ball over the top, and he gets his hands up and just clamps down on it while the DB's hands are all over him. Not pass interference. They both kind of came to it, but he just did a great job of fighting through that contact, fighting through all of those things to come down with the catch. I was really, really impressed with that play. And so it was a 5-yard catch, but it was for a TD in a big moment. And so Zay showed up in his first Anna game with a score.
And you got to remember this kid plays both sides of the ball, right?
Yeah.
And that what I love about that play, like you highlight that play, and I love about it is that you throw the ball anywhere near him when he's on D, he's got the hands to catch it. Yeah. It's not like a typical not like one of those DBs that's just got hands like bricks, right? Yeah. But this guy's got hands, and if it gets near him, he's a ball hawk. He'll come down with it and he'll make you pay.
For sure.
Yeah.
And hey, real quick, this is similar to Bo Brown. These aren't they didn't get stickers on the night, but these guys showed up in a big way. And so I want to kind of shout out Rowan Nylander. You went 5 for 75, including a giant back shoulder catch along the sideline. The near sideline, the Anna sideline in the fourth quarter to kind of keep or third quarter maybe it was third quarter to keep a drive going. Just a phenomenal catch. He caught that and I watched. I was pretty close to me and the Oakland DB just kind of had to give him his props. He was like, dude, that was a catch.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just a great play. And so Rowan showed up big time.
He
big
flashed,
moments.
bro. In this first home game, Rowan flashed. He put
did.
some people on notice. That kid had a really good game.
Yeah, and then the other guy, we had a pregame interview with him.
This guy.
I loved his mindset and kind of what he said. And it was the exact game that he had. It was Ace Trailer came out. You were 3 for 33. But for the first 3 quarters, he really you did the dirty work. Yeah. You blocked. You ran your routes. You didn't get targets necessarily, but you didn't hang your head.
No.
And then the fourth quarter came. And all of a sudden, you found yourself in seams, in windows, in open places, and Zai was finding you, and you were making big catches in those moments. And a lot of that's because of your attitude that you mentioned in our pregame interview on Friday morning, that it's not about me, it's about the team, and you're going to do whatever it takes to succeed. And because you kept grinding like that, you came up just like Rowan in big moments, and so those are shout-out tip of the hats to you.
Yeah, Coach said it best in the post-game presser, right? It's not a defense; it's a we-fence.
Right? It's not a defense or an offense. It's a we-fence. It's a whole team deal.
It's a whole team thing, and that's. I think that's right now. I think that's the part we're watching kind of start to form in front of us is that we mentality instead of me mentality, and that's something that championship teams have to have. You have to have a we mentality and not just me. You're going to get your looks. You're going to get your stats. You're going to get your chances. But if it's all about me, you won't get there because that me stuff is a cancer to a team, right? And if these guys are gonna run it back, then it's that we's got to become prominent. That we thing has got to become center stage. So Ace and Rowan, incredible showing. Way to play some we type ball.
Sure.
That didn't come out the best way, but you know what it
team
means.
Ball.
Team ball. There
team
we
ball.
go.
Team ball.
Hey, let's end the offense with this.
We
give out this sticker when our quarterback comes out clean for the day, right? Doesn't necessarily have dirt on his uniform because he didn't get sacked.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nobody had a little snack attack, right?
Nope.
So that's my QB. Goes out to our big boys on the line, right? No sacks on the night. We're going to call out Peyton Miller. We're going to call out Jesse Vasquez. We're going to call out Dylan Jeffers, Ryland Crawford, and who's our last guy? Marcos Rivera. Let's go. Our big boys. Hey, look, fellas, you did a great job of controlling that line.
Yeah, they did. Really good job.
Really good job. Our O-line last night or Friday night was was on point. You guys played a good game. Now I know there's things to clean up,
Sure.
and they're going to talk about that. But overall, incredible game. So that's my QB sticker goes to our O-line.
And by the way, real quick shout out. We saw in the fourth quarter some of those guys crossing over and playing some D-line to try and add a little bit of extra oomph and a little bit extra push during those final drives. And so that's another tip of the cap. Shout out to those guys for also doing whatever was necessary along with the sticker.
The heart of some of those guys, the grit to get back and go out on defense, it was just incredible. Like that's a good sign early on. I think the D-line they'll get some work. They'll figure it out. They'll start putting some pieces together. We're going to get a test. We already got tested once by Oakland. I think we're going to get another test with Gunner.
Sure.
And so it'll be an opportunity to see where they're learning, how they're learning, and what's going on. But, man, offensively, great day. I mean, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stickers for the offense in total. So cheers to the offense, man. I think it's time we shift gears, though. You want to talk about some defense?
Let's talk about the defense.
Let's do it.
All right, well, I get to start it off. We're going to talk about Josiah Smith, JoJo coming in here,
Let's
number
go.
17, playing from the safety role, came downfield and had 13 total tackles when we combine solo tackles and assists. And so, like, JoJo, great game on that one. Really showed up in a big way, coming downhill constantly to make sure that he was kind of that last line of defense. And did a pretty good job getting 13 tackles. And so, JoJo, you're going to get a sticker on the night for that. I can't wait to see you continue to grow in this role and how that confidence will grow coming off of this game and some of the stuff you did, because I also know that Coach Severe is going to have you guys in the film room figuring out exactly what you can do better to add to this. And so that's a starting point. I love it.
I was really impressed with his athleticism, his ability to move. You look at him, you think, yeah, that kid's probably going to be an athlete, but then he starts moving. You're like, oh, that kid's an athlete.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, he's got control. Like he's got a good sense of awareness about his body, what he needs to do, where he needs to be, and I think that the stats show that
for sure.
So, want to talk about the next guy?
Let's do it.
Let's go. So here's the thing. Like, we're just going to say this off the top. We do our best with the rosters we have and the numbers and the names and all this stuff. I hope we get this right. And if we don't, look, we make mistakes.
We're still early in the season. We're getting to know all of you guys. We're getting to know the roster. Just come talk to us.
Yeah, or shoot us a message. Hit us up on X, whatever. Shoot us something. But Leon Elamine, we're going to give him a big shout-out for 11 total tackles on the day. He had a tackle for loss, which we love the tackle for loss.
Sure.
Anytime we're getting disrupting their offense, anytime we're getting in their head, anytime we see our guys breaking that plane, right, that line of scrimmage, and bringing them down for a loss is stuff that we key on as stat guys, watching that. So, tackle for loss and a big play. He was involved in a really big moment with a turnover, a forced fumble.
We didn't get the ball.
But we didn't get the ball, but he did force it. And I think that's the kind of mentality that every guy on D has got to take.
Yeah.
Go for the ball, go for the ball, go for the ball, because more often than not, it's going to give you an advantage. And that's where we were talking about where we kind of fell short. The turnover battle with 3-0 was just that to us. I think to us was, at least to me, was the turning point of that game.
Yeah.
Right? You win that turnover battle, and we got a different game. And you did your best. You got out there, and your best looks like 3 stickers.
Yeah,
From the
good.
defensive side, you were the number 1 sticker getter this week with 3 total stickers.
Pretty good. Our next guy dropped 11 total tackles. I think it was 6 solos, 5 assists, or maybe those 2 are switched. But George Rogers came out with 11 total tackles, going to get a sticker on the board, moving from running back for us last year to moving to a safety position this year. And that dude is, like, he's strong.
Yeah.
He's a strong individual. He can squat some pounds.
Yeah, you cannot sleep on him. You may
yeah.
look. I mean, I know he's smaller than some of the other guys on defense, but if you underestimate him because of that, you will live to regret that.
And listen, the thing that I saw all night long is he's looking to come downhill and just just lay the 2x4 on you. He's looking to hit you and hit you hard.
Yeah.
And so I think he's also going to continue to develop. And that's one of the things we see with this defense is we see a lot of guys with flashes and moments of brilliance and lots of there's some talent there.
Oh yeah.
But it's just we're working on molding it and getting some of the rawness out of there. And so this was a big test. And so while it's like, hey, we gave up 52 points and a lot of people will hang their heads at that, there was a lot of bright moments that we can take from this game, a lot of good moments. And George was one of those highlights, one of those bright moments. He was competing and he was competitive and he was fiery all night long. He was not happy with how things were going and he was competing. And so, like, George, we see you. Yeah. You get a sticker.
Yes, sir.
Good job on Friday night.
Yeah, that's great. So we're going to combine these guys, the next few guys, all in a row. We got 3 tackles for loss that were recorded by 3 different guys, or a tackle for loss by 3 different guys.
Sure.
Caden Banks shows up, and I know that they have been putting a lot of energy into Caden.
Yeah.
They see a lot of good stuff coming out of Caden, and that tackle for loss is a big indicator of what this young man is going to be doing all season long.
Yeah,
I think it's one of many. He had a handful of tackles himself. Austin Crowley, I think they're putting a lot of focus and attention there. Banks and Crowley both have so much to add to this defense going forward, and these tackles for loss kind of help bring that to the forefront. And then of course our guy Zay. Right, Zay gets in there and gets a tackle for loss as well, and so it's fun watching you guys get behind the line of scrimmage. It's fun watching you inflict the punishment of what a good defense can and legally do, and not get penalized for. So get at it. Like it's what we're there for. It's what the game is about. Coach Sevier said it in the coaches show this last week. You know, football is played as a violent, aggressive sport.
It is.
And you guys brought a little bit of that. And I know you're going to keep bringing more and more and more. So, Caden, Austin, and Zay, you guys all had tackles for losses, and you each get a sticker for that.
Well, and here's the thing. They're preparing for a similar style of attack this next week with Gunner coming to town. And so this will be a really good opportunity to see where the growth has come.
Yeah, what did we learn?
Yeah, and what did we change? What are we going to do? How are we going to compete, differently, et cetera, et cetera? And just knowing these guys' makeup, they're not happy with it. And I think most people would say, hey, rightfully so. There's, like we mentioned, there's things to build on, and they're going to continue to compete. But that's our defensive stickers for this past Friday night. Let's jump into special teams.
Let's go.
All right, our special teams sticker for the night is going to go to Desmar Maraquin. Am I saying that right?
I think you got it.
It's Maraquin. I believe. Desmar, come tell me, man. Like, we've got the pronunciation guys, but I left it off screen. So
if you say it, he said if you say it with a little accent, you can say Marroquin. You want to try that one?
No. No.
Hey, he was solid.
Desmar, you were awesome.
Yeah,
listen, your sticker that you're getting for the night is that onside kick and recovery. We come out of the half. They're not expecting it. You notice just the Red Sea has parted, and you just kind of pooch it up there, and you run after it, let it go about 12 yards. You grab it and go down, and the ref threw a flag, and I'm not really sure what for because you were clearly like 14 yards deep when you recovered the ball.
I think the refs couldn't believe it actually happened. They're like, we got to throw a flag on that somewhere. There's got to be something wrong with that play.
But to their credit, they came together, they waved it off, said, hey, no, we're good. But Desmar, you get that sticker for the onside kick and recovery on that play. Just a do-it-all moment right there that really I think was a huge momentum moment in the game.
Man, and I love when our kickers get excited about their plays. He approached me on the sideline. He's like, hey, did you get that? Did you get that on film? And yeah, Desmar, I think we got a pretty good angle of it. We're going to review all the rest of that later, but man, great game. Great game. Good kid, and he's got he's a good kid.
Yeah, he is.
Really good kid.
Really good leg too. Hey, but that's our stickers for last week.
That covers it this week. Yeah,
it does. So as we kind of start to look forward, there's a few things that I need you guys as viewers at home to do. Do you want to say something before I do my thing?
No, do your thing, because then we gotta remind them of a couple things. Go hit it.
So I need you guys to like. I need you guys to subscribe. I need the notification bell left on. I need a ding. We'll see if Josh puts a ding in there. If he just leaves me with the sound effects this year, whatever he decides to do is cool. But like, comment, subscribe, share it. Like, make sure people find this. This is us celebrating and lifting up these young men and these coaches as they put a lot of hard work into this season.
Yeah, and you guys need to know that about this show. Like, we're not here to complain. We're not here to gripe. we're here to celebrate these kids. And that's what this show's about. It's celebrating these kids, their accomplishments, but we're celebrating accomplishments. We can't always celebrate every kid. And I know that that's tough because some people want to hear their kid's name or whatever, but we have thresholds, right? And that's a good reminder as we kind of close the show. Like, we have thresholds before we give stickers. And so if we get the chance to shout out other kids for outstanding performance without a sticker, we try to do that as much as possible. But please know, we're not avoiding your kids or intentionally shunning kids. We've got thresholds. And when those kids hit those, we're going to talk about them, right? And we're going to pump them up. And that's what we want. We want to pass on that kind of mentality, that kind of attitude about our program. It's always easy to find the negatives. It's always easy to find something bad to talk about. Sometimes I think it's worth the effort to find the good. Like, find something great to talk about instead, right? Prop up the good stuff that's going on and let the coaches handle the bad stuff, because I promise you they are. They're handling the bad stuff. They're dealing with it, because nobody wears a loss, I don't think, any more than a coach.
Sure.
And so, let's be doing our best to pump these guys up and give them the credit that they deserve.
Listen, that'll preach.
Okay.
Next game is this coming Friday. This coming Friday, we're at home again versus Gunner. So tailgate 5:30. Coyote walk will be about 6:30. Game kickoff 7:30. Be there. Be loud. Be proud. Wear purple. Bring your vuvuzelas. Bring your cowbells. Bring your wooden blocks. Make it deafening when Gunner is on offense. Make it impossible for them to call audibles at the line so that they have to burn timeouts to do so.
Let's go. Come on.
That's our job as fans.
Yeah, I agree. Couldn't say it better myself. So you know what we do? Coyotes on 3, baby. 1, 2, 3.
Go Coyotes.